Hey everybody, it's Sam Provazana here with MMORPG, and we're taking a look at some of the Secret World content that we got to see at GDC. So as you can see, there's going to be a ton of customization options for your character in the Secret World, which Funcom showed off a little bit. Clothing will be optional apparently, compared if you'd look at the pictures on your right. It's this pretty sweet looking track jacket. When we got to see some of the dialogue sequences, which will be pretty cinematic. This one is of a CDC representative telling you about the filth that has taken over this swamp in this forest area, obviously, which the filth is basically like this creeping corruption that is basically taking over the world, and the CDC representative wants you to do stuff, or actually wants you to stay away from it if you can. We got to see a little bit of the hacking system, which is called Ghost, and in this scene the character is basically hacking this CDC computer to get more details on whatever you're doing. The combat is pretty dynamic. It feels a little bit like general MMO combat, but it's a little bit more fluid because you can run and gun, and you can attack and do spells and shoot guns and stuff on the go. It's pretty interesting that there are over 500 abilities to choose from, so you can pretty much make any kind of character that you're trying to make with a lot of synergies between the different abilities. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, there's these 3 segments of XP, so as you gain XP, you're basically going to get 1 skill point for each XP segment, and after you fill up the whole XP bar, you get 1 ability point. So there's skill points and ability points, and like I said, the game plays pretty fluidly. There's a lot to choose from in terms of abilities, and there will be a lot of achievements to earn if you're interested in that sort of thing. As you can see at the top of this box, there's an achievements tab and also a lore tab. Lore will be treated differently in this game than many other MMOs, as there won't be a sort of codex per se. It'll be more of a narrative, as you can see, that will encourage you to discover more of the story, or more of the puzzle pieces, as they like to call them. This is the new area that they're showing that they haven't shown before. It's called it's basically part of Transylvania. You can see all the dilapidated buildings and a zip line, which zip lines, of course, are confirmed for the game, and I will play any game with zip lines in them, so this game already had me at hello. We didn't get to see too much of the Transylvania area, but as you'll see in the next scene, there's a bunch of fighting with these vampire hordes in Transylvania, which I guess we've come to expect. As you can see, this is a melee character fighting with a sledgehammer. I wonder if he knows Peter Gabriel. And we also got to see this, in this scene, we got to see some of the crafting, which seems to be pretty similar to a lot of different MMOs in terms of crafting. It has the ability, it's basically called transcribing, and you have the ability to deconstruct weapons and then reconstruct them and learn how they're made. And then we got to see one of the dungeons. This dungeon here is basically in historic New England, and it's one of the ways in which the Secret World will treat time travel, as you're basically going back in time into New England to see a battle between Vikings and Mayans. Now, if you need to know anything more about the game than there are battles between Vikings and Mayans, then I'm not really sure how to convince you that you need to play this game. That pretty much sold it for me after the zip lines. This dungeon area was basically treated as we didn't get to play any of this, but we got to see the party members fight off waves of Mayans, and we weren't really told exactly more about the scenario, about why you're doing this, but it's pretty epic. As you can see, there's a lot of things going on between you and your party members fighting off waves, and of course here appears a giant winged demon boar beast that you're going to have to take out with hopefully some strategy and skill. Like I said, the combat is pretty fluid. I really enjoyed playing. We played some of the Templar starting experience, which takes place in London. It's pretty easy to get into. If you've played an MMO before, you'll instantly be comfortable, but there are some new things to play with in terms of the game being a classless system and a levelless system. And of course, sometimes party members need help, and who better to call in to give you a buff but the Varangian, who is this Viking warrior equipped with the sword Excalibur. Again, like the game having Mayans and Vikings, if you need to know anything more than a Viking warrior named the Varangian coming to your help and rescue with the sword Excalibur, I'm not really sure I could create a better advertisement for the game than that. And so he basically comes in and gives you a buff so that you can lay waste to this pretty demonic-looking boar beast. And I'm excited to see what they have more. We have a ton of preview content on the site. If you're looking for more, you can check out this little void thing, or head over to morpg.com.